Hi folks, I'm Nate with Two Guys in a Ride, and today Rob and I are here at the Concours d'Elegance in Des Moines, Iowa, and we're here with Cruz, and Cruz has got this fantastic original
All original.
car. It's unbelievable. Cruz, what do we have sitting behind us?
Well, behind us we have a 1947 Series 75 Fleetwood Touring Sedan.
If that isn't a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
But, oh man, okay, so you are owner number...
3.
Only owner number 3. How many miles does the car have on it?
Approximately 44,000 miles.
That's it. It is stunning to look at the chrome work, the rims. It's just that hasn't been redone.
Well, it's been, like I said, 3 owners in its 75-year history. And the original owner was a woman.
Okay.
Out of Wisconsin, and she was a widow of an executive, and she had a driver.
Okay.
And, in her elderly age, she went here and there, but it's not like she put a lot of miles on the car.
Right.
And her heirs appreciated the car, and they kept it in the family for a long time until it was sold to the second owner. He was a businessman out of Chicago, which is why it has a front Illinois plate.
Okay, and that is the same plate as what the second owner had on it.
Yep.
Okay.
And he held it for over 40 years, and he turned 90. And in his old age, he decided that it was time to go to someone who would enjoy it and share it with others.
So, how in the world did you find the car in the first place? Was it a show?
Luck. It's always luck.
Okay.
So he, he's a successful businessman. He has a place out in Phoenix.
Okay.
And that's actually where the car was when we found it.
Okay.
And he had listed it with a local dealer out there. And we were just lucky searching the internet, and within the first 24 hours, we had called and inquired about the car, and took a plane down there, checked it out, and brought her home.
Wow. Only 3 owners.
Yes.
All original. And what's fun is, if you look at like the crease on the front of the hood,
Yes.
you see a few marks. You see a little blemishes on the side of the hood where something has sat on it and rubbed it. You can't figure out why, but it goes to speak to, the authenticity of it. But this is just crazy that this is original. I'm stunned. All right. So, why? We'll get more into the car in a minute, but why a Cadillac? Were you looking for a Cadillac? Were you just looking for a car?
Yes, my family, we're big Cadillac fans.
Okay.
I think Cadillac is one of those cars, one of those brands that represent class, and it's one of those low production type of brands, especially if you get into the right cars. And it just speaks volumes. Everyone loves a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Either their grandparents had a Cadillac, or they always wish they could have a Cadillac, and it brings a lot of different people together.
We watched you drive in,
Yes.
and I tell you what, this thing just floated down the road. You couldn't even hear the engine running.
Yeah. She's a floater. We'll take her on the freeway. She'll do 65 all day.
Really?
Yep. And the longest we've had her out is about hour and a half on the freeway one way, hour and a half back.
Really? Okay,
And
so the car gets driven.
The car gets driven.
It's not a trailer queen. It doesn't
No,
sit up on top of it inside, or I think a lot of its life is sat inside of a climate-controlled arena.
Yes.
But this is stunning. We're so glad that you brought it. Now, being that it's a 1947, so this is probably a lot of pre-war design.
Yes.
Now, because I understood, we were talking earlier, but the engine in here was actually used in, talk about that, it was used for military.
Yeah, so as we know, the war going on, our engineers needed time to catch up. So this has a lot of pre-war engineering, pre-war design, and the engine that is in here, they were actually bought by our government, and 2 of them were put in our military tanks. So these engines are literal war horses. And when we got back from the war, like I said, our engineers needed time to catch up, but these were proven engines. These helped us win the war, so they continued to use them.
So they would take 2 of the blocks.
2 of the blocks.
And put them in one tank.
And put
together.
them in our Army tanks.
Oh, okay. Well, then, Cadillac kept making money, at least selling something, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay. Now, let's just start up in the front here. All of this chrome work.
Yes.
You gotta love it. It just has such a statement and a presence.
Right.
But all untouched.
All untouched. I do all the detailing for the car myself.
Okay.
So I have spent numerous hours just polishing
Polishing it.
chrome, and I have a special 2-inch polishing machine that helps me, get the process done a little faster. But same thing with the paint. I just use the most delicate chemicals on it and just the most delicate pads, carnauba wax, and that's it.
I mean, I guess when you get up close, you can see
Yep.
little stretch lines, little areas that you wouldn't be there if you had it professionally redone.
Exactly.
So, okay, but boy, I mean, from a foot away,
Yeah.
it looks new.
Yeah.
It's just, I love that front. I mean, that is just such a presence.
It is.
Okay, original rims at least. Now, were those caps or were they actually?
They are
okay.
caps, and they are actually a harder to find size. They're 16-inch caps. Most Cadillacs came with 15-inch hubcaps, but because of the weight and size and length of the car, these are actually a little more rare that they're 16s.
Okay. Now this car has been featured in some other magazines.
Yes.
And it's won some awards. So tell us about that.
Well, it was the previous owner had it in Haggerty, I believe in 2014.
Okay.
Just an homage to Cadillac. In that article, he talks about how he acquired the car, and that's how we started piecing the history together. And he's actually still a friend, so he'll text us and we'll ask him questions about the car.
Okay. I think that's so neat that you bothered to go back and get the history of the car. In fact, I think we were talking earlier, you actually know that the original owner traded in a Packard.
Yes, the
For
original
this. I mean,
woman.
that's how detailed it
Yep.
gets. That's just, I love that history. I love the huge running boards. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And chrome, or is that stainless?
I believe it's stainless.
Okay.
But
That's huge.
yeah, they
Oh
are.
my
they are
gosh, you
huge.
could really get a good footing on there.
Yeah.
Coming to the back here, these would have been removable for replacing the tire. These extra area right here. Okay.
Yes.
Look at that long chrome strip just going all the way down to the front. Suicide doors.
Yes, suicide doors.
Okay. All right. So suicide doors.
Yes.
Okay. Covered lock. I like that.
Yes.
All right. And we'll get onto the inside in a minute, but we'll come to the back side here. This is as much of a statement really as the front end is.
Yes.
There's not quite as much chrome, but with the big black and then the chrome right in the middle,
Yep.
man, that is beautiful. Kind of made a statement coming or going.
Yes, it does.
So, tail lights and then what, blinkers on the top? Or they were just reflectors? What were these?
Blinkers, yep. And
Okay.
actually, on the driver's side is where you have the gas.
Oh, I love that.
And everything on this car was meant to be owned by someone who could afford a driver who was affluent. So everything on this car is directed towards the driver. That's why you have one backup light on the driver's
Okay.
side. The gas is on the driver's side because the driver would fill up the gas. One spotlight on the driver's side and one mirror on the driver's side. So
That's
everything
right.
is
The other side doesn't even have a mirror.
right. It's all directed towards the driver because the passenger would be the owner.
And then the driver could take care of everything right from
Exactly.
his side.
Yep.
Interesting. Can we open up the trunk briefly and just take a look at the sides of it?
Sure.
Ooh. It always impresses me how big those are. I really like it that Cadillac put their spare tires straight up and down.
Yep. Easy access.
Instead of laying it flat like a lot of cars did. Wow. All right. That's at least a 2 or 3 Jimmy Hoffa trunk, right? We can
Yeah.
fit that in there.
Exactly.
All right. So let's talk about the back of the car.
Okay.
All right.
So as you can see on the floor panel, that's where your Fleetwood logoing is.
I mean, that just looks like it came out of the factory.
Yeah. Again, just polished. Love.
Incredible. Carpets it's all original.
Everything's original you see in here. The wear on the carpet, the wear on the footrest is from the original owner.
Yeah, you can see it right there where they would have put their feet.
Yep. And she sat catty corner to the driver as they would.
Okay.
So she spent most of her time, back passenger seat.
Now, these little vents in the bottom of the floor, that would have been for heat?
Heat, factory heat. It
Okay.
still works to this day. Not air conditioning, but only heat.
Okay. And this brown, this has got to be wood.
It is wood.
Okay.
As you can see, it has expanded and contracted a little
Yep.
bit over the years.
Got stress
little
marks
chipping,
in there.
But again, all original.
And then you've got the belt rope.
Yep.
Going across. We were kind of talking about the different reasons for that. Tell us your. Oops.
My understanding
hang on.
is
To get that. That's more valuable than what we're. Yeah, I want to put it under something.
Set it up in the front seat right now.
Okay, hang on a minute. I just don't want to.
Yeah, just set it
I don't want to
so
wrinkle it or anything.
Okay, good. All right,
Okay. So let's see. Oh,
belt ropes.
so tell us a little bit about your verdict. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so it's got a belt rope in there. There are a
Yes.
lot of reasons why people think that those were there, and there are. So what's your theory?
My theory is that it's a grab handle, and if you've ever been fortunate to sit in the back, you'll realize that you need some core strength to get in and out.
Get out.
So that's definitely there to help.
All right, so that would have, and then you'd have the metal handle as you were actually stepping in or out.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So in earlier cars they had would throw blankets over them because they didn't have any heaters.
Yep.
So I don't know if that I sometimes think that's a carryover, but definitely if you sat in the back, you'd know.
Yep. You'd know.
Right? That's huge because people might say, well, why wouldn't this be considered a limousine?
Right.
What was the only difference between this car as a touring edition and a limousine?
So it does have the extended wheelbase of a limousine, but the main difference is going to be in the storage compartment. So this was directed more, for, I would say, family use.
Okay, there would have been jump seats there.
Yeah,
if it was
originally, if it's a limo, there would be jump seats and a partition window, and it would take up this whole storage
area.
compartment. But if you didn't have a lot of people riding around with you, you would like the extra storage.
Now, let's talk about the controls, because
Yes.
this does not have electric windows, does it?
It has hydraulic windows.
Hydraulic windows. They operate like it,
Yes,
but
they actually take transmission fluid, the motor.
Interesting.
Yes, and then the other controls, you're going to have the hydraulic windows, cigarette lighter, ashtray, and then even a personal little glove box
which I love.
for your cigarettes or whatever you would have.
Man. And then you got a little manual.
Yep, and that's your air conditioning right there. That's it.
That's there.
And then you have the grab handle as well.
Okay,
as,
yep.
As a second form of
It's a
assistance.
second form. Wow. Now, is this all around the windows on the interior? Is that more wood? It's all wood trim?
You're gonna have a lot of cloth, mainly
Okay.
in the back.
I'm talking about like this.
Oh, yes,
like
yes.
this
Around
piece
the main
here,
windows, yes. This is
right here
a
by
lot
the
of wood,
ashtray.
yes. This is painted. You're gonna have a mix. Of
Okay, so that's
material.
painted metal.
Yeah,
Okay, it's a little bit of mixture.
little mixture.
Man, hard to believe it's original.
Yes,
Just crazy. You've also got a clock
yes.
in the front for the passenger.
Yep. It's at the moment it is not working, and we have to get that fixed. But it is actually, if you know about timepieces, it's a Jaeger LeCoultre.
Really? So it wasn't a cheap clock.
It was not a cheap clock. It was a really well-known and well-respected timepiece brand.
Ha! Wow. Okay, let's talk about the front.
Okay.
All right. So this would have been more designed for the driver.
Correct.
So talk us through the 4 switches on the door here.
So these are all the windows.
Okay.
You have a power seat.
Okay, slide back and
Slide
forth.
back and forth. Yep. And then going into the controls on the steering wheel, you have your shift knob. It's a Hydra-Matic, so
Okay.
it's just drive, low gear, reverse, neutral.
Okay.
Your parking brake, your lights. I have a horn switch, my heater, and radio is
Okay.
all up here, and they all work. And then it has electric start.
Okay. So what was I missed it. What was the button with the F on it?
The button with the F is for the windshield wipers. I believe.
Okay.
In which they were
Hydraulic as well?
no, they are vacuum.
They were vacuum
That's the
run.
correct term.
Okay. And then of course you got a what? Engine temperature.
Yep, and you have all your gauges: just engine temperature, battery, fuel, and oil pressure. The basics.
Wow. And then of course another clock on the other
Yep,
side.
another clock for the
just
driver.
in case there was someone there, and a glove compartment.
Yep, and then of course your speedometer and odometer.
And then this would have just been a turn signal.
Yep, turn signal, and then horn, which works.
Okay. Oh man. Look, I mean, just look at the quality of the how well intact the door card has remained. That's crazy. And then again, this would have been
Is wood.
is wood. You
It
can
is
see
wood.
little stress marks.
Yep.
But man, That is just incredible.
And if you check the windows, they have the original dating on them. So these are original.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So the glass has never even been replaced.
Yep.
Now, what was this? Was just a little latch to open up the corner window?
Yeah.
Okay.
Air conditioner.
All right. let's take a look at the engine.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Gotta love that. Woof. Okay. Wow. First of all, that's really cool how you open that. I like that. What a tall engine.
Yeah, it's a big block. It is not a small block by any means.
This is this would be why maybe it was used in the tanks, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So roughly how much horsepower was it putting out?
About 150.
Okay. Man. 3 horns?
Yep, musical horns.
Oh, musical horns, and
Yes.
that's what it came with. I mean,
Yes,
that was
so it has musical, those are the musical horns, and then it has a normal, loud, just regular horn.
So what do the musical horns? Do they play a basic tune, or they all sound together and just create kind of a more?
They kind of create a little tune.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
But Cadillac put that in there.
Yep.
Okay, and then you would have had that would have been what, windshield wiper fluid?
Yep, that mason jar.
The mason jar. You gotta love the glass mason jars for windshield wiper fluid. And then the vents, the hoses running in, that was for heat.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Wow. I mean, look how much area is, but then you look at the front end and you see how much was just added for the bumpers
beauty.
and the
Yeah.
Man, that is massive. Holy bucks! All right, we can shut that. So a couple more questions for you, Cruz. How do you get into cars in the first place? Why didn't you choose to go into boats or go buy a cabin or do a lot of other things? What got you into cars?
Cars are one of those things that you use every day. So it's always a part of your life. And we're originally from Southern California.
Okay.
So that is one of the biggest car cultures in the
area,
world.
yep.
You can see any type of car there. And it's just a part of who we are. We just love cars.
Awesome. All right, Cruz, thank you so much for spending your time today taking us through this preserved 47 Cadillac. It's just astonishing.
Thank you. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. Well, Cruz, thank you so much for taking your time to show us this beautiful preserved 47 Cadillac. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
They went to shake your hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We could edit that out.
We'll do that. We'll do that again. All right.